alerts that are happening here for ApeCoin. So this is why I'm kind of running off the 1 hour. I like the daily too. The daily is for the long term. I don't know if you guys, what do you like to trade? Day traders use the 1 hour. If you are a weekly trader or what we call a position trader, then you want to use something that's more of a kind of like a daily or 4 hour. That'd be definitely what you want to get into. What's up, Diabeto? Yo, let's take a look here. We're just doing some ApeCoin. Doing some ApeCoin check right here. All right, guys, let's take a look here and see if we can get some ApeCoin check here. All right, now what I'm previously doing here is, using the 1 hour time frame to see where we're at, just so that we can, take advantage of the money that's actually happening out there in ApeCoin. What up, man? What up? Hey, good call on XRP. Woo! Good call on XRP, brother. Hey, brother, what up, man? Shout out to Diabeto. Diabeto is one of the students in the VC Trading Academy. He called out that XRP 2 days ago, that jump on XRP, and he's been trading. How long you been trading, Diabeto? For 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, something like 6 weeks, something like that. He's been in the academy for about a month and a half. He called out the XRP jump before it happened, which was nice because people made some cash on that. So thanks for sharing that, Diabeto. Appreciate you, man. That was a great call, man. Everybody out there, happy holidays, happy new year. Let's take a look at ApeCoin. Anybody got ApeCoin? Is there anybody out there interested in ApeCoin? Are you guys, do you check out the video game? Did you guys look at the upgrade that they're doing? Now remember, guys, we're doing an enrollment into this, and this is to show you how to make cash. Guys, if you want to make money in crypto, right now is the time to do it. This is pretty much you're at the we'll call it the ground level of crypto. Now it can hit a little bit of a hanging cliff. We've pretty much gone through everything possible in crypto that, losing back and forth as far as FTX, Luna, all these things that are happening. It's all piled up. So we're pretty close to a reckoning spot here where we can be cost average buying down and getting ready to go up. You definitely want to put some money on the sidelines because we're about to go hard right here. You don't Doc 7575. You don't like ApeCoin? Let's take a look at ApeCoin here. So ApeCoin right here is very simple. What we have here is a 1 hour time frame. Now, based on here, we are using simple indicators. These indicators go off of alerts, right? So right to your cell phone, you get an alert, tells you to pick up the coin. This alert would have happened on this time frame here, which means you would have got in on this next candle here, and this would have brought in a little bit. And this is what you want to do here, is just kind of track to see if this coin is actually making money on the 1 hour moves. And it does seem like you were able to pull off a spike here that actually did hit a 2%, but it looks like on this push here it would have came back down and probably would have got out about a 1% move here. So to me, that's kind of like, even though you're winning, you would have moved your stop losses here and made some moves here. Once it got above 1.5%, you would have been up to 1% ish. But to me, that's not a great move for a trade, right? Let's see what they did over here on the 1% move. So here we go again, an entry right here. When red goes to green, green means buy, guys. This is what you want to get into here. So kind of like looking into here, what we got going on here. That would be at the bottom of this candle here. And this move is taking you up to, all right, that's more like it. This is about our 1.5%, 2%. So this is, once again, it seems like ApeCoin is making 1% moves, right? Which isn't the greatest thing in the world. It kind of lets you know that ApeCoin's sitting at a level where it's probably at its bottomest peak. So I would say ApeCoin, if you want to get into ApeCoin, be looking around 350 and below for ApeCoin. And what I'm seeing here, I'm not seeing big pushes off the ApeCoin move. Now, this was happening towards the end of December. So now that we're in the new year, let's take a look to see, what we're doing here. Now, crypto is a game of constant, just playing the game, right? So, even though our AI bots and our alerts are going to happen, they're going to show you, your buy-ins and moves. And what I want to point out here is that, this is a nice little marathon, right? So, the importance of, let's say, like, the importance of moving a stop loss, right? So the very first thing in a stop loss is where you enter, you put a stop loss at 0.5, half a percent below where you entered. And the moment that the coin reaches the 1%, you then move to the half a percent in the opposite direction, meaning you go from 0.05% negative of your entry to 0.05% from your entry, right? Or even your what a lot of guys call like your entry price, right? So like your floor price right there. Hold on, what you got, bro? I live in hey, if you can tell me, I live in New York. Where can I open an account with good what, bro? You need to open an account in New York. New York guys, everyone who's in the New York side, what do you guys use? What do you need? Are you talking about like using you talking about an exchange like KuCoin or something you can use for leverage? Is that what you're asking? Like what exchange you can use in New York to do leverage? All right, so now, is that what you're asking me? Anybody's in New York, what do you got? I got guys who are using VPNs. A lot of guys use VPNs in New York. LTC, any ideal? Let me take a look. Litecoin. I was just looking at the Litecoin thing because Litecoin is a very interesting coin to me. And that's because, and here's another 1% move. Like, it just seems that ApeCoin was knocking out 1% moves. So I'll get into Litecoin. Give me 1 second on there. So I'm going to show you guys like kind of importance of setting up the stop loss in this video, and then we'll go over and check out some coins into Litecoin. But stop losses is very important here. So on your trading view, if you slide down right here, this is what we teach inside the Trading Academy. You guys need to learn how to set your stop losses and get yourself in a position where you're doing the fundamentals so you don't lose money, right? So first thing is you go to your long position, and that's pretty much what we have right here. So when we enter a trade, right? So when we enter a trade, there's this little middle line in between the red and the green. And what you want to do there is just set this up to where when you click it, you just put it where you entered, right? So the first thing you do is say, okay, this turned green here. I'm entering on this candle here. That's my entry. This bottom half goes up and down, but that tells you percentages. So first thing you do is just go down to 0.5, right? So somewhere in here you would find your and if you have to use your mouse over here to open and close your window a little bit, go ahead and do that so you have that space. But this is where you would be entering in here, and you would be putting your stop loss in this little zone here, and that's kind of where you wanna stop yourself out there, and that's the 0.5% right there. I'll show you guys how. I do have videos up on YouTube. You guys can go watch. If you go to Venture Capitalist live on YouTube, there are videos over there that you guys can watch are about stop losses. But the thing about here is that here we are in this, we're chasing this coin, and we're doing our 1 hours, and this is actually at a few different opportunities here where this coin is just kind of like broke even. Like, I call it breaking even though it's a 1% move, but honestly we're set to structure out where we want to make 2% plus moves. So this right here would have gave us about 4 trades so far that was breaking even or costing us about 10% on our trades, right? So but this is kind of like tracking a coin, and this is where understanding time frames are important, because this is why on a coin like this we want to have an hourly, right? So now after 3 trades that kind of went so-so, we get into this next trade, right? So we jump in here. Here's our green again, and this is why it's important that if you're watching a coin, just going with your alerts, you're not too concerned about the wins and the losses. What you need to be concerned about is the structures of how to take advantage of the coins that are happening and that what's being made in money, right? So constantly just doing what you're supposed to do. Now getting in this coin over here would have put your stop loss here at 359, and now this coin would have jumped up here and we would have had our 1%. That would have put us at a stop loss at our normal entry price, which would have continued here, which would have actually made through here, and that would have actually got us to where we would have seen a nice little jump. So our stop loss would have moved at the 1%. We would have moved into the entry position because we're looking for a 2% gain. We always stay 1% behind our entry, and this would have actually finally broke out. Now another thing that I kind of look at is, notice in this time frame here, this is kind of like late at night. A lot of times I don't do too many trades until at least, you know, we're getting into the afternoons of a good trade, and kind of pushing forward here. But this right here, the alert goes off. You could have got in here. You set your stop loss here. And this one actually almost triggered out here, but it actually got through. So this right here would have been a beautiful play. And as you can see, you would have crushed this trade here. And this would have made up for a lot of the trades that were in earlier. This is a 10% gainer. It continues to move forward until it comes down to this level here. So anywhere in here, you guys probably would have crushed out. At least you would have moved your stop losses up to at least 1% or 2% behind. So let's say you would have had an 8% gain. Now that's nice because that 8% gain would have took care of all your losses on your last, at least 4% of that of the losses on the other ones. It would have gave you a nice solid 4% gain times 10, which we all know is a nice 200% gain. So you still would have made your money there. But that's the importance of, if you're tracking a coin, not to worry about the moments that you have coins that only do the 1%, but you have to keep your stop losses set up. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Let's see here. Litecoin, let's go. Litecoin USDT. Now, I haven't taken a look at Litecoin in a while, but Litecoin did just go off here. Let's take a look at, now Litecoin looks like it's profitable. See, this is the difference between coins, right? ApeCoin I really would have stopped messing with once I kind of went through the, just kind of like looking at the history of ApeCoin, noticing that the movements on the 1 hour weren't producing any real gains, right? Because we want to be 2% and above, right? And we don't want crazy like shoot down percentages after we're in. So what I would do here is I would have been back here looking at Litecoin going, okay, what does 1% do in Litecoin, right? So let's get into a position here and let's just take the worst case scenario trade and see if this coin is actually making any money here. And let's start seeing if this is worth even messing with. So here's your entry off this coin right here, which would be here, and then it did jump up, which not too bad because this would have gave a push to 1.5, which is okay because then we would have got a 0.5% out of there. That's fine as long as you're not breaking even on there. And then we come across and let's see what else is there. So that's not too bad. And then we would have seen this push here. Let me see the previous 1 hour. Like I said, we always want to check to see. Yeah, this looks really good. Like, so Litecoin is actually producing some wins here. So this is the difference between messing with ApeCoin versus Litecoin. So, or finding a coin that is better to use. So that's what's most important, guys. You got to remember, man. We are talking about the indicators that we're using right here. These are price action indicators, guys. So these are our Academy indicators. So when you join the Academy, we have a TikTok trading academy, a group of people that we get, and we're going to be trading live, working one-on-one, and teaching you guys how to make money with the indicators. These alerts go right to your phone, so they just kind of come to an email, it hits your phone, let you know that your price action on your coin turned green. So the guy who's asking about Litecoin, if he had these indicators, he would have got an alert right here on the Monday the 19th. at 5 o'clock, he would have been told that he should be buying Litecoin. Now we're going to see if he would have actually did well. So there's your green. It turns green right here, as you can see. Now we need to see how much profit that actually bring in. So we would be entering on this next candle. And remember, these candles are an hour. So when you get an alert, you have an hour to go in there and pick the next candle up. So we're not gonna take the bottom of this wick. We're gonna take a little bit higher where the body formed, and we're gonna see if how it would have performed on a move here. So this is very nice. Litecoin hit its easy 3 to 4% gain there, which is beautiful. Now that's the difference. This is what we're looking for. This is the type of coin you want to trade, guys. A lot of times that you're like trading crypto, sometimes you guys are just buying coins that don't make any money. And if you're not making any money on the coin, then you just kind of like, what's the point of trading it, right? You got to learn to, like, you know, figure out yadi nadi. You got to kind of figure out, like, is this coin, when it does turn green, right? This is the importance of having indicators and AI indicators that help you so that you can see where price action is gold, where things are go, where things are happening, and you're like, okay, this coin is going crazy, and then you look at the money and go, well, it didn't even make any money. Because you can be fooled by big spikes, but they don't make money, right? So the AI, the bots and the alerts that we have set up when you join the academy, we teach and train you how to use these things, because it's very important to get to the point where you're using the indicators to see if coins are making money previously, right? You can go back and you can check out a coin and then move forward going, I'm going to watch this coin. So right now, Litecoin is starting to show that maybe we should be watching Litecoin. So I'm going to set some alerts on this after I finish my live, because I'm going to set some alerts here, because I'm going to start looking at Litecoin. And the first thing I have to do is figure out if it's in margins. So this actually went on a nice little run here. Actually went into a massive run. The sell-off would have been somewhere in here, so it's a nice, you would have made 3% on there. And keep in mind, the way we teach you guys is you make 5 times your money, so 500% times your normal gains. So that's the importance of compounding with your profits, to basically take, you know, $100 to 10 grand in literally 3 months, right? It's a big difference. All right, so now here, once again, we get our little piece in here. It's a 1% gain, so that's not too bad. And here we go again. Here's the Litecoin move, and this is like, you know, what we're saying, like their Litecoin's hitting. Look at this gainer here. So keep in mind, this is price action, right? You guys see these colors right here? These are price action colors, right? It's really easy to see here. This is red, this is green, okay? In the Trading Academy, we go based off of, you know, these indicators. So when they go red to green, you get an alert sent to an email. That email goes to your Gmail or whatever, Yahoo. That goes right to your phone. Tells you that you have a notification from TradingView that the coin you're watching, which is Litecoin right here, because we're moving across Litecoin. We'll get to that in a sec. But this goes right to there telling you to buy. Now this gives you an entire hour that you would be looking to get to your trade. So let's say you're not in on this one, you're in on the next coin. So let's see how much this trade actually would have came in. And let me show you how to set your stop loss. So the first thing you're going to do here is we're going to go to the bottom of our candle right here, and let's get ourselves set up. So the first thing is, once you got your entry point in there, you're going to want to set a stop loss, right? So you're going to pull this down to 0.5, right? Which would be right in this zone right here, which means this is your stop loss area right here. That would be $65.33. Now, moving forward, we have our stop loss. Now we want to take this, and the first thing we want to do here is mesh out our profit, right? So first thing we do is when we hit a 1%, which is right here, that's where we would be moving our stop loss from this point to this point, which is the entry price, meaning moving our stop loss up, so that way we are no longer taking a loss. We are breaking even if the coin decides to do anything different. Now, as we come across these levels, Now see, this is where a perfect example. So a lot of people ask me like on the stop losses, why do I always like favor the turn? So here's your 0.050, right? Me personally, you know, we've been actually like talking about this. I normally tell a lot of students to go into a 0.75, you know, on coins, and it's just because a lot of times if you're, it depends on the exchange. The one thing I noticed about KuCoin and a lot of exchanges is that they do kind of have a lot of spikes that happen. So these type of spikes on TradingView would be a lot more accelerated on a KuCoin exchange versus, let's say, MEXC or Bybit or BitGet or something like that. So this is why, you know, for me, the normal stop loss, I love the 0.5. I always go a little bit harder, probably like a point, you know, 0.6. But this is just a reminder. Maybe something I'm going to change in the teaching is just to go 0.6, maybe even 0.75, because you gotta play these spikes, right? You gotta play these spikes up. So maybe we'll be moving to the 0.75 moving forward. I think so. It's just because the market right now, it seems to has a lot of like volatility, and we don't want to get knocked out of a trade because of market makers and simple like hey, what's up, man? How are you, man? I can see the H bar chat. Yeah, H bar, baby. So that's why you want to, you know, kind of get yourself in that position where we're going to probably move to a 0.075. So if you're watching this, guys, and you're in the academy, make a mental note of this. I'm going to put this video up. I'm going to make another video, and I'm just going to literally use this as an example to where we're increasing our stop loss to 0.75 just because of these candles. All right, now this is actually textbook right here. This is nice. So here's the coin. It finally breaks here. It hits the 1%, comes down, doesn't really hold, and then this right here, when you see this 1% move, that is where we would be coming in and we would be moving our stop loss after we surpass this, right? So it would hinder across here, and then you have what's called a 0.5% mark, and which is where we eventually want to move our stop loss just to make it so that we are profitable, right? So if you guys are watching this, make sure you're constantly what's called a moving stop loss. And we want to move the moving stop loss to about 0.40, a little bit under the half mark, right? So all right, there we go. Now what that is basically once we get to a part where we break through our 1%, we would be moving our stop loss up to that percent. All right, and this right here is the 1%, is that little mediocre line right there. All right, this is kind of a moving stop loss. That's our second, that's our 0.5% gain. So right here, when we finally see these coins starting to break through, and right here we have our candle actually break above our 1% and actually be solid, this is where the stop loss would be moved to this line here, which is considered the 0.5% line, right? Now, rule of thumb is real simple. As this continues to move forward, you want to stay with a stop loss that is 1% behind. So right here, when this coin plateaus out here at 2.5, 2%, your stop loss would then move to the 1% mark right here, which would be this line right here. And then when this moves finally above the 3%, this is where you would move your stop loss to 2%, which would be in this zone here. And this is a moving stop loss. A lot of times you guys will ask me like, yo, VC, where are we taking profit, right? And, you know, and I'm always like, well, you stay 1% behind. So you just keep moving your stop loss. I don't know where we're taking profit because we have no idea in this market how many people, we don't know how big this run's going to be, how big the pump is. And as this starts to pump up, all you do is keep moving your stop loss and you stay behind at a 1% margin, right? So when it gets to, you know, it kind of clicks on this level here. This is a 5% mark, so you would be stop lossed at 4% right in here, right? Now, a lot of times, once I get past my goal of 3% and I start getting into the 4 and the 5%, you know, I like to stay about 1.5% behind. I give myself a little more room for pullbacks to go forward. So normally on a 5% push, I'm at the 3% mark, stop loss, and then when it hits 6, I move up to 4. So I stay about 2% behind as it starts to get a greater move. That way I'm always kind of like giving myself room for the pullback, right? So here you have a moment where this coin kind of like sits on the 7%, right? So you would be at the 5% pullback, which would be in this zone right here, somewhere right here. So that would be your stop loss would be moved up to your 5% mark right here. And we would just keep rocking and rolling. Now what happens here is, as we go through, we don't make any changes until we actually go red here, and this is where we would sell out. So that's not too bad. We got a short on ape. So I'm going to show you how to do you know, anybody understand how to do like, so we would have actually sold out here, and we would have triggered over here. So this would have been, when this scalped up here 9%, we would have put a stop loss at about 7%, which is literally right there. So we would have stopped out at this percent here. This would have been a 7% gain, which is a tremendous gain, because you got to realize ApeCoin is also, I think ApeCoin's trading at, or no, this is Litecoin. Litecoin is trading. So now the next thing we want to do here is let's go take a look at what we can trade as far as like value on this. Alright, so let me do this real quick here. So if you're in Litecoin, that would have been a sell zone there. Obviously you guys can see the red, it comes all the way down, and then boom, look at this expansion again, right? And look at this, it just turned green again. Man, Litecoin is banging right now. Look at this. Litecoin's actually about to, it's still pumping here. So 75 bucks. Alright, so let's take a look here, and let me pull up a spot here, and don't forget to hit the like buttons, guys. We're about to go into find out how to short. We're going to make a couple trades real quick here. I'll show you guys how to do some trades, how to short, how to set yourself up in futures. So we're going to do some futures right quick. Let's see if Litecoin's even in futures. We're going to also set up to do some shorting, and I'm going to show you how to set some stop losses, how we literally just went over. And I'm going to show you stop losses in futures and in margins, right? It's all the same system, same structure, guys. Making money in trading is very simple, right? Retail investors aren't developed to make money because it's a mental strain. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times you guys make money, you just give it back. It's like going to a casino, right? You make money and then you give it back. So it's kind of like, it's a little rough out there, you know what I'm saying? What do I have here? Go live. Do. All right, nobody. All right, so here we are. Let's pull up this is pull up one of the accounts that we use for training. Let me see what I have in here. All right, so we have some USDT. Let me see what the margin. So this is the margins that we set up earlier. Okay. So I'll come back to those and we'll take a look. So what I want to see here is that, let me pull up another. I like to have at least two multiples up so that I'm actually in margins, but I'm also in futures. So let's, what is this? Alright, so let's go do a short on Ape, because I keep getting an alert on ApeCoin that's going down. But what I want to see here is, first thing I want to is Litecoin LTC. So Litecoin is in margin, so we can do a 10x on there. The next thing I want to see is if Litecoin has futures, right? So let's go over here to futures, and we're going to jump in futures because we're going to do some futures in. First thing I'm going to see if Litecoin is in here. Litecoin is in here, and Litecoin is available for a 50x. So we can literally So when you guys take a look here, I can 50x Litecoin right here, which is ridiculous. And what that means, guys, is in the Trading Academy, we show you how to get 500% more on your profits. Here, we are looking to teach you how to get, we can literally, we can show you a lot more. We just want to be in a position where you're well educated on what you're getting here, but this is about a 25% more gain here, right? So we're going to place an order real quick in Litecoin. Very simple. We're going to run a 50x. Now here's your last price, right? You see where it says last price up here? What you have to do is when you hit the last price, you have to make it a little bit taller than what it is, because it needs to buy down, right? If it's the same price and they can't find a fill an order for you, it won't fill an order for you, then you'll be behind. Same thing if you're actually going down, you would make the price even cheaper so that it buys up to the price if you're shorting, right? If you understand what I'm saying, if you're shorting. So let's take a look at this. Here's our 1 minute. Litecoin's coming in here. So let me take a look at Litecoin right quick, because we do have a session on Litecoin. Now, what I'm going to show you is how to set up your stop loss, right? So first thing you want to do here is go to the left side of your coin. You want to click on your little long position, and because I'm going long, I'm going to set it up where I entered, and I'm going to set stop markets for both profit and loss. First thing I do here is I take my stop loss. I'm going to move that to 0.75. I'll just make it 0.8 in this little zone here, and that is going to give me a price of ape. We need to short ape. That's going to be a price of, you see how those alerts are popping up, guys? Those alerts go right to, what's up, man? Make money. So alerts right here are basically going to get you guys set up to where those alerts will go to your email as well, get you in there. Now, when you're getting ready to get into a trade, this is kind of like this is the only time you really use a 1 minute or a 3 minute trade. Click here. This will show you an example of where you can get in. So here's our 3 minute. You see right here we have a green buy signal. That would be if we were tracking this coin the entire time. This rebounds right here would be our actual entry. So this 3 minute entry right here, I'm gonna make this purple. This is the entry that we would get in on our 3 minute, and I'm gonna make it a little bit thicker because it's a 3 minute. All right, let's get out of there. So this is where we would normally enter a trade if we were tracking this coin the entire time, but because I wasn't, we weren't. So I'm just showing you an example of how to enter, how to basically take advantage of a trade. When you slide to the 1 minute, right? See the 1 minute here? We use price action. So you see this red to green? Now you see this red line here? This is red to green, right? When it goes red here, we're selling out, and then we're waiting for our entry, which happened right here. And then from the 1 minute, we move to the 3 minute because we don't want to use the 1 minute for an entry, just because Litecoin had a little bit of a pullback there. So using the 3 minute would have got us in over here. So we're not too far off of what we want to get into right here. Feels like a really good entry point there. 5 minutes green as well. So we have price action on the 5 minute. Our MACD is green. We're looking good all over here. No bottom wicks here, so we should be half decent. All right, so let me get back to my 1 hour because I want to show you how we're going to set up some simple stop losses, etc. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to drop this down. The higher the leverage, right? So if you're using a 10x to a 20x, which you should be using, you want to use a 0.75 pullback, which would be your stop loss would be $75.07. I'm using a 50x, so I can't be as generous. So I need to slide up to the top of this third wick candle area. I'm going to use a 0.32 here, just because I don't have any room for a real pullback or anything like that. So my stop loss is going to be set at 75.39. How you set it is pretty basic. We're going to go back over here. And when you're in futures, remember this, guys, as you pull this down, you have to pull all the way down, and there's an extra arm here, right? I've made videos on this, on how to move it around. Here's your extra arm, and bada bing. This is where it says take profit, stop loss. So we can set both. So now that we know where our profit, our stop loss is going to be, which is 75.40, right? 75.39. We'll just say 75.40. I need to look at my profit, and my profit is I want to run my profit in a very simple 1% movement, right? 1% movement means since I'm doing a 50x, a 1% move is 25% gain, right? So this is the green 25% right there, and that means that we would set a profit at 76.40, right? So we're going from 75.40 to 76.40, right? Let's head over to our futures account. Let's put that in there. First thing we're going to do is stop loss, right? We're going to put $75.38, and we're going to take profit at, actually I need this at 74. $74.40. I'm going to take profit at $75.40, and I'm going to double check that. No, I'm incorrect. I need to move that around. All right, so this was correct. 75 and 76. Now, you can also do how much you want to sell on it. So if sometimes let's say profit, you're setting multiple profit takes. I'm going to take 50% of my profit at that level, and I'm going to sell 100% of my position, or 75% of my position at that level. So here's your profit. You can take a certain amount on here. So another thing is, let's say you don't have mathematical skills and you say, okay, I want to make 25% of my profit, right? You don't even have to know what you're doing. You can just click here. 25% of your profit would mean that the coin would have to reach $75.99. If you want to make 50% of your profit, you'd have to go to $76.38, right? And if you want to make more than that, if you say you want to double your money on this one trade, it needs to reach $77.15, right? So we're going to go for a double up here, right? And that'll close out 100% of what we're selling. Over here, if you're saying to yourself, well, I only want to lose 5% of the money I invested, you click 5%, and that's the number, 75.58. If you want to lose 15%, it's 75.51. 25% is 75. So for us, when we first start off, we want to do a 25% loss, period. Okay, 100% profit, period. Boom. Now once the coin starts to move, right, then we adjust our stop loss. Let me show you. So we do our first trade, we lock in our numbers. It's very simple. Now, as you can see, we're already making money here. So we're starting to show that our coin is actually moving. We're up 5.83%. We're up $1.49, etc. You know, depending on what you're trading. We're trading something. This is just a trading account. It's a training account, so there's not a lot in here. So right here we're up 5%. Remember, the goal is to get 10 to 20% profit and get out of there. So let's say that your coin is starting to move and you want to take less risk on your stop loss, right? It's very simple. All you do once you see the movement of the coin is you go back in here, click on this little green box, and then you can cancel the last price here that you put in, and you can move it to where instead of me losing 25%, I'm only willing to lose 5% now, and I confirm, and that moves my stop loss up even more. So now I'm at less risk of losing money if this coin goes the wrong direction, right? So this is something you guys want to kind of like understand on how you're trading, so that way you take less loss. So remember, winning in crypto trading is really about minimizing your losses, maximizing your gains. It's pretty basic. So every time you're seeing movement, you want to kind of like adjust yourself into your position so that you're actually doing well. And the same thing goes as this coin starts to move forward and make profit, right? So for instance, let's say that we wanted to make 5% profit. Then we would move our stop loss to $75.60, right? Which would just be clicking on this little button and moving that price in there, right? So now you see how we jumped here? Very nice jump. So now we are rocking and rolling here. We're up 10%, which is where we want to be. And remember, the 10% mark is $75.74, right? And we're going to keep pushing here, guys. Not too shabby, not too bad here. We're doing really well. We're pushing here. Yeah, so 50x move, so 1% would give us a 50x, right? Exactly. So it's 50%, correct. Correct, Cryptastic, that is correct, Cryptastic. That's what we try to teach you guys over here, you know, how to use margin. Now, when a lot of people use futures or margins, they have a lot of problems or they lose a lot of money. It's just because you don't have your indicators and you don't understand setting yourself up and how to use these tools to be, you know, to win, right? So with us, you know, it's very simple. We already have the indicators, and if you're watching a coin or waiting for an alert and you enter when you're supposed to. So if we were actually, I wasn't watching Litecoin, but I will start watching Litecoin, because right here, as you can see, we got a nice little entry point here. And if we were watching this trade, we would have entered at this level here. And what that would have done for us already, like this would have, we could have already closed this trade, already made money. This trade right here, if we were actually paying attention, spiked up, and that gave us our, we're closing in on a 1% here, which is kind of where we want to be. So we'd be happy right here with this 0.80 because that's about a 40% gain. Now, to have real profit, depending on what exchange you're using, BitGet, Bybit, KuCoin, Binance, MEXC, whatever, they all have different trading fees, right? KuCoin. So what I do is to be kind of like, you know, you don't want to like, you know, over project your profits. You want to under project them so that you have a realistic understanding of a system of what we're trying to do here, which is make money, right? The goal inside the Trading Academy, guys. So when you sign up for the VC Trading Academy, not only do you learn how to make 500% more on your profits, but you also learn a strategy that doubles your money every 14 days. So if you have $1,000, in 2 weeks you'll have 2,000, and in 2 weeks after that you'll have 4. Then you'll cut that in half and have 2,000, 2,000. The next 2 weeks, another 2,000 profit. The next 2 weeks, so 2,000, 2,000. The next 2 weeks, you have another 4,000. You put 1,000 to the side, so you have 2 3,000s, right? This becomes 3,000 profit the next 2 weeks. So now you have 6,000 and 3,000. You cut them in half, all right, and you're trading with 5,000 each. And that's literally after 2 months. So you take 1,000 and you turn it into 10 grand, and you start trading. You have multiple bags, so that way if you make a mistake, you replenish the other bag and keep trading, and you learn how to compound interest and grow your money. But this is basically by doing one trade a day that makes a certain percent of money, right? So our entire goal is this. If you have $1,000, you want to have a coin that moves 1% or 2% where you make a 20% gain, right? Cut that in half. Take 50% for fees and other stuff, and take the other half and say that's my win. So that would be a 10% win on a trade. So 10% of 1,000 is 100. You do that 10 times in 14 days, you turned 1,000 into 2,000. Then you do 2,000, you do the same thing for 14 days. 10% wins on these trades for 14 days, 10 trades, 2,000 becomes 4. And then you divide that up. And the second month is you're doing 2,000 again, you do it again, and you just keep flipping. And what you learn is a system on how to stack savings while you're compounding profits at a 500 times profit. That's what you learn inside the Trading Academy, and that's why people are successful. It's because we're making more money, 5 times more money than normal traders, and that's where the success comes in. All right, so I got to kind of watch this here because you see right here, your percentages go up and down pretty quick. A lot of times, these big moves here, you just want to take profits because you're not here to love a coin, like a coin, go for a grand slam or whatever. You're just here to make money. So if you hit that percent that you want to make, just close the deal and move on to the next coin, because the one thing about crypto is too volatile. It just goes up, it goes down, it goes up. Now more than likely we're probably in a good spot here where it's going to continue to run. I just don't like not taking profits. So here on our 1 minute, we can see we have our red, so our price action is slowing down, but there's a couple things that we do have here, right? So the first thing that we have here is basically this little line right here, and this line right here is called the moving average, right? And this is the 50 moving average right here. Well, actually this is, yeah, here's your 50 moving average right in here, which is this blue line, and we should get a bounce off the 50 moving average, and then we have the 200 moving average coming up. So this actually looks, Litecoin looks like it's in a really good spot here actually. So, but I am doing a 50x, and when you do 50x, you don't have pullback time. Now, if I was doing a 10x or a 20x, like most of the students, they could literally ride this pullback and then, you know, take the bounce back or whatever and not have a problem. The problem is when you do high leverage, you don't have that luxury, right? So my stop losses are already there. They're probably going to trigger here. Just because we're in a high move. But I am going to get back in this coin eventually. I'm gonna start watching Litecoin because you can do a 50x and we can make some serious cash on Litecoin. But that's how you know, the point of the video and the point of this was to show you guys how to set your stop losses, but also to remind you, like, man, just take profit. Like, it's, you know, it's just take the money, you know what I'm saying? You have a short. So Sweet Angel, how you get started? So guys, if we're doing a TikTok group where I'm going to trade live like we're doing right now, and we're going to share live trades, educate people live on TikTok every single weekday. So Monday through Thursday we'll be trading live, and then here and there. And what we're going to do is inside the Discord, you guys are part of an academy, so there'll be call outs, shared, you know, information. You'll get alerts to your phone, all the good stuff. To sign up, right, we normally have a trading academy that I teach all year. It's $1,000 to enroll, and then you pay $50 a month for the Discord. In TikTok, because you guys are all on TikTok, we're going to share call outs, and you guys are going to kind of build what's called like a civilian trading fund, right? And you guys are going to work together. So what I'm doing on TikTok is when you go to link in my bio, right in my bio, you're going to see a little setup, and literally all you do right here is you just go to my link in my bio. You see this little thing that says Linktree. When you click on that Linktree, that is going to take you to another website. And because you are on TikTok right now, when you go to Linktree, you're not going to pay the $1,000 enrollment. You are literally going to get in. You're going to take the VC Trading Academy, buy and sell alerts to your phone. You're going to click that little button there, and it's a one-time fee, $300. It's all you need. So instead of $1,000 enrollment, you're only paying $300, and then that includes the enrollment of $1,000. Plus, you get the entire Discord for the entire year for free. You don't pay any extra for the Discord, and that comes with call-outs, alerts, education, one-on-ones, literally everything. So I got all the videos in my thing. You guys can go watch. Some of our students are here calling out calls. Actually, I was just looking at a call out right here for XRP, which is kind of reminding me. All right, so let me take a look here. We're going to bounce off here. It looks like Litecoin is going to bounce off the 1x. Now, when you come over here, I want to show you. So this is where we see where we have our Litecoin positioned out with its stop loss, right? So I'm going to bring this down to, we're going to re-enter here because we are bouncing off here. We're going to show another re-entry. So here's our bounce right here. We're looking for growth on here. I got to go check on XRP real quick. Now this white line right here, this is the 10 moving average. So just so you guys know, the white line is the 10 moving average, the blue line is the 50 moving average, and the orange line down here is a 200 moving average, right? So rule of thumb is, and it's going to show you right here, which is kind of interesting. Normally if a coin is under the 10 moving average, right, which is the white one, that means that it's normally going to, you know, be going in a downward position. We need this to actually get above the 10 moving average right here for this to be considered an upward movement. But as you can see here, it's starting to show that it's not. So this is where, you know, coming over here, having a stop loss is important, because we might be in a trade here that could possibly go a different direction. And I'm going to put my stop loss here at 5%. I'm going to call it a day, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to stay in there. There it got triggered. So now this is in a downward session, right? So here's the thing. Look at that downward push. This all comes off of, you know, coins, but notice here, let me show you guys while we're doing this. This is actually a really good coin to look at and learn. So right here, you see this 1 minute, we have our green to red. So this red right here is a downward. So now here's a good opportunity where we can short Litecoin. We click here, we put 0, we go into the short side, we're doing a 50x short, right? So we click in there, you're at 75.53, and you can set a stop loss the same way that you do on any coin on the short. Now all we did to short here was, you see how the price is 75.50. When you hit the last button, you just want to be in a lower price than the current price, because if it's at the same price, it might not fill your order, because it might fall too far below the current price before it fills your order. So always make sure you give yourself a nice little cushion, because it won't buy at the price you put in. It'll go to the price that you kind of like put in there, right? So this was kind of like showing you how to switch from a long to a short. Just make sure that while you're practicing this, first thing you do, guys, is just roll over to your stop loss. Please always put a stop loss in there for yourself. Click a 5 or 15% stop loss, click it. But this is for you to kind of get ready. It's a muscle memory thing. You want to practice this. Don't go over here and put $1,000 or $2,000 in here before you learn how to just click the buttons and actually get used to the setup. You know, we have a lot of videos inside the academy. So guys, if you want to, like I said, we're going to do a TikTok trading academy where we trade live, educate, teach, go through these scenarios every single day, teach you guys about moving averages, but more importantly, you get the indicators that kind of like just steer you in the direction of what you need to do. And here we go. So this is what we were waiting for here. So now we actually do have a green here on the white. Here's a 1 minute, but we need to go to the 3 minute, because that's where we want to make sure that we're still green here. So we do have a green on the 3 minute. We need to check the 5 minute, and we're still green there. We're below the 10 moving average, which I don't like. We need to get above that. The 15 minute does have above a green, but looks like we could have some pullback here. So let me see here. I need to get this coin above this 10 moving average here. And this is another thing. So in the Trading Academy, the one thing we teach is that once you take your profit on a coin and you don't have like what's called a pure entry, the pure entry is basically what we're looking for on Litecoin would be on the 1 hour, right? And the pure entry for Litecoin would have been on the 1 hour move, which would literally be way down here. This is where we'd be looking for Litecoin. So Litecoin's looking like a nice, it looks like it's going to keep moving up. So Litecoin probably got a little bit of life in here. So Litecoin's going to be a coin that we're going to watch for a minute, simply because it's showing green everywhere. Let's take a look at the daily here. Yeah, man, this thing is green, dude. Jeez, holy smokes. Now this daily's green, man. This is gonna have a lot of movement here. Man, dude, man, look at Litecoin on the daily. Wow. So if you were watching, so this is a coin we missed. I mean, definitely, I don't know why I don't really ever trade Litecoin, but here is there's some opportunity here for Litecoin. So here's a daily, right? So let's say you're a hodler, right? Let's say like you don't want to buy and sell daily. You just want to buy a coin and you know, kind of like buy the bottoms and sell the highs, right? So this is where you would go into a daily, which is a 24-hour candle, and you're just looking for the indicators to let you know when it's time to buy and sell. And as you can see right here, Litecoin turned up to be a buy in this zone here. So you'd be buying Litecoin in this little around a $66 mark here. That would be your Litecoin buy-in, and it's a nice little run right there. And then Litecoin ran up a nice little percent for everybody in this little zone here. Nice 4 or 5%. And you know, at that point, you've got your stop loss set up here, and you're sitting it back. Normally it's 1% on the daily, 1%, 1.5%, depending on where you're entering, because you're long balling it. But yeah, I mean, not too bad here. What date was this? The 27th, the 28th. Okay. Now, so Litecoin did its pullback, and it looks pretty strong here. I feel like it's going to continue to bog out at $76, maybe 77. It's kind of where it's going to, you know, kind of find its level. Yeah. So normally, I mean, the nice little carry here. I'm gonna have to take a look into Litecoin and see what type of like what's happening with it. I haven't heard any news about it. A lot of time in crypto, they like to move from coin to coin. So guys, as soon as you make your profit, just make sure you take your money from the profits and just move to another coin, because it just, a lot of times, you know, they don't stay profitable. So just make sure you're kind of in that zone. But Litecoin does look like from its point from 66 to where it's at here, could be topping off somewhere between 75 and 87 or 84. And that's kind of like its zone right there. So more than likely, if it does hit $80 or something, that's probably going to be the end of it. It'll have a nice little pullback from there. So just take your profits on there. All right, so I'm gonna do a little more research in there. I want to take a look at XRP, just because XRP has been making some jumps here. And let's take a look at the daily. Now the thing about here is that when you can look at a daily, right? See the difference between the daily where Litecoin is like green, and here is XRP, right? Now XRP doesn't have a daily green, right? So this is where the runs that happen on XRP aren't going to be as great or as important as Litecoin, because we're not in a daily. So with XRP right now, we are waiting for a daily, right? We're waiting for a daily green to kind of like come back. This one was a standard push across, and that's where we're at with XRP. So if you're an XRP person, we are waiting for a daily right now. But you know, even with all these pushes here, it's not favoring XRP, because once again, here's your 10 moving average right here, and that, see how that coin is, it keeps falling below this. So more than likely XRP is going to go into a short position pretty soon. So that's what made Litecoin interesting, because Litecoin is actually green. Let's take a look at ApeCoin here. ApeCoin's not making too much money. Now the weird thing about Ape is that Ape just turned green on the daily here. So there's a little more push for Ape, maybe up to 450 around there. But XRP needs to get a little bit of help there. Let's take a look at one of my favorite coins. What do I want to trade? What do I want to trade? Let's go back and look at Litecoin real quick, because Litecoin's in a nice little weird position here. The daily's green, which is strong for it, but it's had a big run here, so it could be pulling back. And you can see here, you know, going over its big push there. A lot of times when it has that push, it'll have 3 rejections, right? So here's your first rejection, here's your second rejection, and this looks like a third rejection here. I mean, honestly, right here, I'm looking at this. If it wasn't green all across the board there, it would be looking like this is a pretty good short here from this position. I think we'll open this up here. I think we're going to open this up. I think we're going to go with the short here because we are red. Let me see the 5 minute. Let me see the 3 minute. Let me see the 1. Okay. Yeah, I feel like we're going to at least come down here and top this off. So let's jump into this nice little short here. Like I said, always make it lower than it is because you're going lower. I'm gonna hang into this short here. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna ride this 1 minute red candle out on this short here until we get a bounce here, at least off the 200 moving average. Because we had our green push, red, the green barely pushed, and here we go again. And we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 tops right there. So let's see what we can do here. And once again, I don't need a lot of movement here because it is a 50x. But it does have a daily green on it, which is very interesting for Litecoin. Alright. Let's see here. Litecoin manifest here. Let's take a look at. I'm really interested in XRP right now. All right, XRP. All right, that would be the entry here for XRP, which would be off of this candle here at least. All right. About the 200. We are green. We are green. Let's see the 15 minute. No, not 15 minute yet. So this, because the 15 minute here we have our red, right? So we like to play off the 15 minute to the 30 minute to see which direction we're going. And this looks like XRP is going to get rejected here, which would make sense. So we're going to look at to get into a short here on XRP as well. Now let's use margins. Can you do XRP futures here? Let me see. All right, let's see if XRP has some futures in here, guys. XRP futures. What can we do? We can do a 50x on here. Okay, let's transfer some cash over here. Should have something in trading. I think we have some trading. Peace, Daniel. What up, baby? What up, Daniel? You hitting that big dog? Matic, Carl, dude. All right, let me take a look at Matic in 1 second. Let me transfer this over to futures. Now we gotta be patient, guys. Let's find some like fresh entries that we can actually get into that are just happening, right? So here we are looking at XRP here. I'm going to do a 50x. We're going to do 50%. We're going to sell that short right there. All right, let's Take a look at Litecoin. There we go. Litecoin rejecting, coming back down. Let's take a look at, we'll put XRP in here. There we go. All right, now we want to see what? Matic? What'd you say? Matic. Let's take a look at Matic. What I need to find, guys, I need a 1 hour. I need a normal trade. I need a normal trade. I need a 1 hour. Look at this 1 hour already hit, man. Look at that. Matic already hit. What's going on, man? We're going to take a quick look at Matic in the 1 hour. And what I want to do is, I made a video on this, but I'm going to keep making videos on this so we can stress it, right? So the very first thing is we need a price action volume to happen here on our trend. So we went from red to green, right? Which would normally trigger you to say, okay, I'm going to get in this trade. Remember what we talked about is when you see that happen on that candle, you need to look at the volume. It has to be moving at least 50% towards an upward direction. You can see right here, we didn't really get our MAC volume on the top side or the positive side of this movement. So we would wait for the next candle, which didn't happen. It didn't happen. And then we got a slight movement. But see, the whole little section here is, it's the same amount. There's no real movement here. So we would wait this out because what we're waiting for is confirmation of a move, right? Now right here, we do get a nice push down right here. Then we start to see the 50% change, right? So which means there's price action inside of the buyers, right? So here we go, came all the way down on our MACD, pushed half of that, and then that's right here is where you can get into this trade, because when you've seen this big push down, you see the volume here. When this and this is what I'm talking about. So let me rewind this. Let me rewind. So right here we go green, right? Look here, here's our candle. It pushes down, right? Which means we're not getting in because we're going the wrong direction from here to here, right? So we get an entry here. We look here. Here's our candle, right? Next candle is actually not breaking above. We're waiting, and then when it does break above, it's not a massive type of movement. It's a slow, pathetic push, right? Which is kind of like molasses. Now this is the one that you have to say to yourself, you know what? Let me wait for a little bit of confirmation, and that's why we always talk about getting a green candle inside of your MACD before you go crazy, or at least seeing something happen like this where the volume drops all the way down. So that, you see how big this massive move is? Even if it's in the negative, it goes from here to here, and all of a sudden it doubles its fall. Now it starts to push the other direction, and we see that it's like 25%, boom, 50%. Right there would be the sign to say, okay, that type of movement I can get in on. Or if you're waiting for double confirmation, you say, okay, I'm going to wait till this goes to the upside, and all of a sudden right here, boom, this turns green, and this is your entry. You would be jumping on right on this candle here, which literally is not a bad entry. You could have got in down here, but waiting to be 100% safe is always a better ideal than anything. And there's your MACD, go green. Here's your candle. Let's see how that would have worked out for you. Grab your long position. We'll go a little bit higher than normal. Let's say you're getting in there somewhere in half the candle up here, and that move so far is generating some really nice gains. So this gain here would have been almost 4%. So 3% gain. Remember, guys, we're only looking for that 2% gain. So that would have worked on Matic. Now we did miss this. We did miss this alert on Matic. Actually, I think Diabeto. Did you call that sign out? Did you call that out, Diabeto? I think Diabeto called this out. What is this? January 1st. I think yeah. Somebody called that shit out. But yeah, Matic network moves. So that's kind of where we're at there. All right. Let's take a look at Litecoin real quick. All right, they're all fighting the bottom. Let's take a look at XRP. Yeah, XRP is definitely oversold, and it's kind of hit its little mark. There you go, it's red. There we go. That's what we wanted right there. This is the money we want to make on XRP. So now we got our 1 minute turning red right here. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. Let's get into our zone here. Here's our XRP spot. All right, perfect. All right. So XRP, we're right on the money. Litecoin, we're kind of fighting the back and forth battle, but we're gonna be taking profits here. So remember, we got a $20 into our XRP. We only want to be making a 20% move or 10% gain, so we need $2, maybe a $4 profit on XRP. We'll see how far it drops. But yeah, XRP is shorting right now, and this is actually like a live trade that we were able to follow. And right there, you see how like our price action right there, red to green to red, and now we're going into a short. We have a 200 moving average that we're probably going to bounce off of here, and if we can break through that, then we'll have a nice little drop beyond that to the 34.36 mark right there. Is what we're shooting for. So that's live. Let's take a look here. We need to find a current. We need to find a current one. So we missed the Matic one. But that was a good call right there to